control number that was included on the proxy card that was sent to you in the proxy statement in order to vote. So I will now report on the delivery of the notice of this annual meeting. I have inspected an affidavit of mailing from Broadridge Financial Solutions that certifies that notice of this meeting was given to all stockholders of record as of April 8th, 2020. The notice of the meeting and the affidavit of mailing, together with the attachments thereto and the 2019 annual report, which is a really, really good report, will be filed with the minutes of this meeting. Okay, so now I'm going to report on whether a quorum of stockholders is present, and then we can proceed to the formal business of the meeting and the proposals that will be voted on today. As of the close of business on April 8th, 2020, the company had 66,652,884 shares of common stock entitled to vote at this meeting. And I have confirmed that more than a majority of the company's outstanding shares of common stock that are entitled to vote are represented here today. Thus, a quorum is present, so the meeting is duly constituted and the business of the meeting may proceed. So next, I'm going to introduce each of the matters to be acted on at this meeting. Each of the matters is described more fully in the notice and proxy statement that was sent to you. So there are three items of business on today's agenda. The first proposal concerns the election of 6 directors for a one-year term that expires at the 2021 annual meeting of stockholders. So the nominees for the board of directors are Glenn Sanford, Jason Gessing, Dean Frederick, Randall Miles, Darren Jacklin, and Dan Kahir. Information concerning their occupations, their service as board directors, their skills and qualifications, and other matters which may be of interest to you are contained in the proxy statement that you received. The company recommends a vote for the election of each of these individuals. The second proposal today concerns the ratification of Deloitte & Touche as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for 2020. The company's recommendation is for the ratification of the appointment of Deloitte & Touche to serve as the company's independent registered public accounting firm and to audit the company's financial statements for the fiscal year December 31st, 2020. Okay, so the third proposal asks stockholders to approve an advisory resolution on the fiscal year 2019 compensation of our executive officers, which is described in the proxy statement. So this proposal is advisory. That means it's non-binding. Although it's non-binding, the vote's important because it provides information to our compensation committee and to the board of directors regarding the way you feel as stockholders about executive compensation, the philosophy we have behind it, the policies and our practices. Our compensation committee and our board of directors will be able to use that in considering future executive compensation decisions. The company recommends the approval of the 2019 executive compensation. Okay, so there are no stockholder nominations or other proposals for business for this meeting that were timely and properly filed with the company. So the business of the meeting is limited to those 3 matters on the agenda. And because no further business is scheduled to come before the stockholders, I declare that the polls for each proposal to be voted on are now open. And I direct that a vote of the stockholders should be taken on the 3 matters that were submitted for a vote. Okay, so if you are a stockholder as of the record date, you probably have already voted by following the instructions on your proxy statement on your proxy card. However, if you want to change your vote, or if you have not already voted, you can do so now. And the way you do that is visiting virtualshareholdermeeting.com/EXPI 2020 from any web-enabled device. You'll have to enter the 16-digit control number that was included on the proxy card that was with the proxy statement that was sent to you. Please remember, if you've already voted, it is not necessary to vote again. Each holder of common stock is entitled to 1 vote for each share held of record on April 8th, 2020. As noted in the proxy statement, stockholders could submit questions before the annual meeting. We received a few questions, and most of them we incorporated them into the presentations that you've been hearing this morning. If you still have questions that you feel were not answered, please reach out to me or any member of the company's management team. One question that I want to address here is, how can I become an EXPI stockholder? And there are a number of ways to do that, as EXP agents or as a member of the general public. First, EXP agents can participate in the Agent Equity Program, where they can enroll to be paid 5% of every transaction commission with stock issued at a 10% discount. In addition, EXP agents can earn shares from the Agent Growth Incentive Program on their first transaction when they fully cap and when an agent they sponsor closes their first transaction. In addition, EXP agents can become an icon agent and earn up to $16,000 in stock upon the achievement of certain production goals within their anniversary year. And of course, anyone can purchase EXPI shares on the open market. Okay, so now I want to call your attention to the company's 2019 annual report. And I really recommend that you look at this. The marketing team has done a great job. It includes a shareholder letter from founder Glenn Sanford, an informative and very interesting article about eXp World Holdings and its companies, and the 2019 financial statements. An electronic copy of the annual report is available at expworldholdings.com. Okay, with that, I now declare that the polls are closed for the matters voted upon at this meeting. And based upon my preliminary review of the results, both of the votes just cast and those received before the meeting, I can report that the holders of a majority of the common shares of stock represented and entitled to vote at this meeting have voted as follows: to approve each of the nominees for director, to approve Deloitte Touche as the company's independent auditor for 2020, and to approve the 2019 executive compensation. As the Inspector of Elections, I will furnish a written report of the final vote count with respect to the matters voted on today. This will also be included in the minutes of the meeting. We expect to report the results publicly in a Form 8-K to be filed with the SEC within 4 business days of this meeting. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's annual stockholder meeting, which I now declare adjourned. Thank you.
Jim, you are wonderful and amazing. Thank you for everything you have done for this company. You have been such a wonderful addition. And, you know, I hope everybody realizes you and your legal team over the last couple months have worked tirelessly to make sure that all of our brokers and our agents are understanding what we can and can't do in these new times. And we could not have gotten through this without your team. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Stacey.
Absolutely. Okay, so when Mitch told me that I got to make this next introduction, I was excited, but I have to admit I was a little nervous because this is not an introduction you want to screw up. This dynamic duo needs no introduction at all, but there is so much to be grateful to them for. So here at eXp, we live and die by our belief in that communication and the connection. And while these items may look different at eXp than they do at any other company, this is an example of how different is absolutely better. So thanks to the brainchild of these two men, we've got meaningful relationships and friendships with people all over the world that we would have never had before this. And so we have the ability to be ahead of that curve and be a part of a company that is leading the way in our industry. We have that privilege of pioneering the virtual workforce and showing the world the new ways to work smarter, not harder. So welcome to these visionaries and all around incredible humans, Glenn Sanford and Alex Howland.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacey.
Thanks, Stacey.
All right. It's been a really interesting